we're gonna do another question, which is the resultant of vector A and vector B makes an angle alpha. So let's write the angle symbol much better. Angle alpha with vector A and beta or beta with vector B, then which of the following might be true? So the option A is gonna be alpha is less than beta. Option B is gonna be alpha is greater than beta if A is greater than B. So it's talking about the magnitude of these two vectors. And C option is alpha is less than beta if um, A is less than B. And finally option D is alpha is less than beta if A is equal to B. So just looking at the question, it might not be obvious to you if what is the answer, and even for me it is not that obvious. So in some videos I just stick the answer and show you the process, but now I will show you how you can find the process. So to do this, I will just disregard some of them. So you can obviously disregard this and this. So the question might be why. So this is a multiple choice question, and this type of question has only one answer. In some cases multiple choice questions have multiple answer, but this multiple choice question only has one answer that is given to you, so that is told to you. So even if it's not told, I will show you how you can do it, since the law reasoning does not change at all. I'm just showing a trick of sorts. So first of all, let's see why these two will be wrong. Since there is only one possible answer, so and there is greater than or less than or equal to, so these three are the only possible case that this would work, and this is just logically invalid. We will see that also. So now first of all, let's just see how we do this. So first of all, let's make these two vectors. Let's make white for let's say white for um, A, vector A, and let's say blue for vector B. So let's start from B. So instead of doing A, so we will talk about A in the end. So let's start from B. So alpha is less than beta if A is greater than B. So if A is greater than B, it will be like this. And um, let's go back. The resultant of vector A and B makes an angle alpha and with vector A and beta with vector B. So let's just look at how to do this. Is there an angle given between vector A and vector B in this question? No, there is no angle mentioned between vector A and vector B. So since there is no angle mentioned, I can obviously take any angle between vector A and vector B. And the simplest angle, if you think about it, it's going to be 90 degrees. So if I take them in parallel, I don't know what alpha and beta is going to be, since it's going to be 0 degrees for both of them. And if I take 180 degrees, it's also not going to be easy. I could also take some random like 30, 60 or something like that, but it's still not going to be too easy for me to find out which angle is greater just by looking at it. So understand, just by looking at it, we are gonna take we're gonna make it so that one it's gonna be 90 degrees. So you can obviously take any other angle, it's just that I find 90 degrees to be much more appealing and much more better for me. So let's just form a rectangle or a parallelogram, since a rectangle is a parallelogram. So we are trying to do the parallelogram law to find the resultant. So the resultant is obviously gonna be a diagonal passing from this point. So let's make the resultant. So let's copy this. Let's make the resultant red. And so we are doing visual proof right now. So, and this question is much more easier to understand once you do the visual proof. So let's call this vector A, and let's call this vector B. Okay, and let's label. So the angle alpha is made with vector A, so this is um, alpha, and this is beta. So if I look at this, I have no idea which one is correct, since the change between beta and A is not that drastic. So to understand which is much more important, we should move B to be much more smaller than A for the first case and see what happens. So let's move it like that, and now let's label A and B, and now I think I clearly see which is a bigger angle and which is a smaller angle. So in this case I can obviously see, since we always want the condition that alpha is less than beta, so in this case I obviously see alpha is less than beta if A is greater than B. I think I see this. So if I go here, obviously the answer is B, right? So we actually got the answer. We did not have to check any other case. But it's not likely that you will do this case first of all. So you might do some other case. And to see and understand every single thing, we must try to do all the cases to be sure that this is the only one. So let's take all the things and let's try to fix this of some sorts. So let's take this, let's make this length of 3, this like that, and now let's move it like this. So this is our case B. If you, let's look over here where A is less than B. So A is less than B. So this is our vector A, and this is our vector B. So this angle is obviously alpha, and this is beta, and I obviously see that alpha is greater than beta if if B is greater than A. So if you really wanted to do this question, if you were really good at geometry, this question wouldn't be even hard for you, since this is also like a geometry question. But I showed you why this is true. So also it's not like you only have these two cases. Obviously the third case that you might have is that both are equal. So in order to do both are equal, let's do 3 3, because why not, to make it 3 3. This is 3 by 3, and I think you see that the angle is exactly divided. So this is alpha, this is beta, and I see that alpha and beta are equal if A and B are equal. So these were the conditions that I arrived to, and this one is the important one, since this is the question. So let's talk about why each of them is wrong and why this one is right. This is wrong because there is no condition attached to it. So there are obviously cases where alpha is equal to beta and alpha is greater than beta, or alpha is less than beta. So this does not signify anything. But and why is this wrong? Because in this case alpha would be greater than beta, as you can see over here. If if B is greater than A, which in this case alpha must be greater than beta. And why is the last case wrong? It's because if this is equal, this must, all the angles must also be equal. And obviously you might have a question, which is does the angle just look equal because I drew it like that? So if I do it somewhat different, it will look like the angles are not equal. So obviously that's a fair question, but if you do some math, which I'm not gonna show, you will find that this is going to be equal. This is a valid case, and this actually occurs, which will prove that this is also wrong, which means this is the only logically right answer. That's why this is the answer. I think that's pretty cool and that's pretty easy. So that was it for today's video. In the next video, we're gonna do another question. Till then, bye bye.